You're listening to Shooting the Breeze with Byron A. Lloyd. Dig it. All right. It's your man back with the final segment of my presidential series. Like I said, when I did the truth about Trump, and when I did the deal, what's the deal with you? I kept it strictly facts, all meat, no filler, all steak, no sizzle. First of all, I want to give a secret shout out to my favorite dinner on the planet, that Bill Payne son of a bitch. He knows who he is. I also want to say that, of course, once again, I'm sponsored by King Snack Sales. If you want snacks by the case or by the truckload, holler at my man Stephen King, 870-270-1948. And I also want to give a little shout out. I got a new business coming out. It's called Delta Digital Marketing. What it is we handle your business online presence, everything from web design to your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, and all other social media accounts. We merge them all together and we market them online to show you how to save a buck and maximize your profit potential, because radio, newspaper, and the yellow pages is out. It's over. It's dead. It's a waste of money. So holler at me at 870-662-1157 and let me show you how you can spend a little and earn a lot. Tonight is strictly my opinion. I've bit my tongue and I've given you the facts to let you make your own mind. Now I'm going to tell you facts and tell you why I think Donald Trump is totally not unqualified, if the facts alone didn't tell you that, and why Hillary's the better choice. You know what I mean? A lot of people say the lesser of two evils. A lot of people say that, but in this case, it's not even the same universe. Donald Trump is so unqualified and is so uneducated in foreign policy and the matters that a president would need to know, that all he's got is, I'll make America great again. He has no detailed policies other than he's going to build a wall on the Mexican border and that he's going to make the Mexicans pay for it, which we already know is not going to happen. The Mexicans ain't going to pay for it. There's no way he's going to make them pay for it. So kids, are you ready, class? That's the bell letting you know class is in session. And Professor Lloyd is at the chalkboard. So let me go ahead and tell you that, first of all, we know there's 11.2 million illegal or undocumented workers or immigrants in this country. I've already told you what the price tag would be on that. 400 to 600 billion, that's billion with a B, dollars, to deport all these cats. And then on top of that, the revenue they put into our economy would cost us another 1.6 trillion. And then the cherry on top of that is it would take, according to the CBO, which is the Congressional Budget Office, up to 20 years to do it. So that's all hype, man. He's not deporting nobody. He's just appealing to the lowest common denominator and his racist and bigoted base. Just like that, he's not going to be on the wall, man. Even his top aide says it's just hype, and even Donald Trump says it's just hype. That when he needs the crowd to, when the crowd's bored, he needs to get cheap applause. That he says build a wall, and the coots go crazy, man. So, like I said, I'm going to get back into some of the facts, and they speak for themselves, man. First of all, there should be some type of law that if you've wrestled in a professional wrestling match on WWE, like the Donald has, that should automatically disqualify you from being a president. Because Jesus Christ, he's embarrassment enough to the rest of the world. And you hear the conservatives say the rest of the world's laughing at us. They're laughing at us because of Donald Trump, and all the leaders of the major westernized countries have said this. The UK's even trying to take steps to ban him from even coming to the United Kingdom or Britain. Not to mention that people say it's because of Obama. Obama right now has almost a 70% approval rating. It's up to 90% with the Democrats. And around the world, he's highly respected. That's another one of them right-wing myths that they repeat over and over, and it becomes the truth because people don't do the research for themselves. They read Breitbart or one of these other quasi right-wing news sites, or they watch Fox News. And let me give you a little scoop on Fox News, like I've said before. They've done studies in the past 3 years on Fox News for you Fox News fans out there. And they've done two studies at two different universities that prove that people who watch no news at all actually have a better grasp and know what's going on more in the world than people who watch Fox News. That's how big of a propaganda arm it is and how much BS they spin. And on top of that, last year they did a study on which cable news channels told the truth the most. And of course Fox come in at dead last with a dismal 19%. You heard me right, kids. Fox News, how's it even legal for themselves to call themselves a news channel when they only tell the truth 19% of the time? You know what I mean? Donald Trump almost tells the truth more than that, but he actually don't. And I'll get to that in a minute off PolitiFact, because I'm going to go through Hillary Clinton's file, and we're going to show you percentage-wise who tells the truth the most, her or Donald. And if you listen to conservatives, they've been brainwashed. They'll tell you Hillary Clinton lies every time she opens her mouth, but that's so not true compared to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has made a career of flim-flamming and lying. He's such a prolific liar and BS artist that Donald Trump has, well, we'll get to it in a minute, but it's shocking the amount of statements that's been rated as true. You know what I mean? It's incredible, the number. What's Hillary Clinton, I'll give you a hint, Hillary Clinton's statements, the majority of her statements have only been rated by PolitiFact true 23% of the time. But that's still miles above what Donald Trump's statements have been rated. That's right, that's how low it is, so we'll get into it. But like I said, you always get to knock on Hillary about Benghazi. And I proved last night there's been 8 different Benghazi-led investigations. 6 of them are Republican-led. And they all proved and I know it's hard to believe because all you right-wingers think she's a murderer and she got those poor four Americans killed in Libya when she's been exonerated by 8 different investigative committees. 6 of them were Republican-led witch hunts who were doing everything they could to dig up dirt to prove that she'd done anything wrong, anything. And that's how the whole email server scandal come to pass, is because they were digging so deep on the Benghazi investigations. That's how they found out she kept a personal email server. Before you jump on that email server bandwagon, also note that the Inspector General's report that's just released said that she broke no laws, that she only broke protocols and email policy, State Department email policy. But it also stated that Colin Powell and John Kerry had done the same thing. And a lot of that has to do with the archaic records keeping law that says that when you leave office, that you got to turn over all documents and emails back to that concerned the State Department, back to the government or the State Department. And that's why she's been short on 30,000 emails, because she literally has to print 30,000 emails and file them by hand. And they said it took Colin Powell almost 2 years to do it when he left office. But we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. Like I said, Donald Trump alone has finally made a fatal flaw. At first, he was untouchable because people love it because he just speaks off the top of his head, off the cuff. But he eventually wrote a check his butt couldn't cash when because he knows he's a master at reading the crowd or reading his market or demographic and mastering manipulating the media and bullying the media. And he's a master of it. You know what I mean? Just like P.T. Barnum, just like all the great flim-flam artists of our time and hype men and carnival barkers. But when he openly come out and just brutally attacked the press a couple weeks ago, they finally started taking him to task and started fact-checking him. Because, see, that's the problem with Donald Trump. That's one of his strategies, which is almost evil genius, is that he tells so many lies so often that you can't fact check them all. It's a blizzard of lies. Because when time you fact check one, he's done told 5 more. So you're already 5 behind. And this is not me saying it, this is the facts, and I'm going to prove it to you. And just like when people jump on Big Ghazi, like I said, she's been exonerated by 8 different investigating committees. I hate to bust your bubble. They said she did everything she could. That the most damaging thing she did was that she reduced security at it wasn't an embassy, it was actually a mission and a CIA facility in Benghazi, Libya. She reduced security 2 weeks before, but the reason she done that is because she had bad intelligence from our intelligence assets in the intelligence community. And that's basically what all 8 reports come up with, that it was a total intelligence failure. And like I said last night, you would figure as consistently as our intelligence departments have totally missed the boat and could have prevented terrorist attacks. And in some instances, even were warned about terrorist attacks, and they still got biased and still attacked us. 9/11 being a perfect example of that. We won't get into details. We're going to keep the party rolling and the ball bouncing, and we're going to start getting into some statements that Donald Trump has made. And like I said, first of all, I think he should be disqualified because he was in a professional wrestling match. How embarrassing is that? Possibly the leader of the free world actually wrestled in a professional wrestling match. Unless you're from a trailer park in Florida, you should be humiliated as an American that somebody who's been in a professional wrestling match has made it that far, whose last name ain't whose last name ain't Ventura. But on top of that, come to find out the only foreigners he likes are supermodels and his wife. Any other foreigners he don't have nothing for, unless you're 5'10", 5'11", with a nice rack, and that you'll date his mango skin butt. But, like I said, we're going to get into some of his policy ideas, and we're going to break it down because I've bit my tongue and it was hard because I'm a Bernie guy. But this ain't a lesser of the two evils. Donald Trump is fundamentally dangerous to this country. Major economists on the right and left have said that he has no clue about economics. Ben Stein just said it the other day. And, if you don't know who Ben Stein was, I'll give you a hint. If you ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller, this is what he does in Ferris Bueller. Bueller. That's Ben Stein. And I actually met him once at a Razorback football game in Little Rock. Come to find out, the Harvard-educated economist, Ben Stein, married a woman from Arkansas. And I actually met him at a Razorback game. Cool cat. But he was said, quote unquote, Donald Trump, pardon the language, doesn't know a goddamn thing about economics. And he's a lifelong Republican, Harvard-educated, who was a speechwriter for Richard Nixon and was part of the Nixon campaign. And he also said he was a crook. And when a speechwriter from President Nixon's campaign calls you a crook and basically an economic moron, Jesus Christ, what does that say about you? You know what I mean? Because when you talk about low bars, Richard Nixon has said it is about as low as you can go. Until the mango skin Carney Barker named Donald J. Trump showed up. But don't get me wrong, Hillary's been involved in possibly some shady fundraising back in the Whitewater scandal. We got into that. Her and all of Bill and her friends seemed to were commingling and taking out illegal loans, and all of them got popped. Her close friend Susan McDougal refused to work with the feds, and she got a couple of years. Her husband did, and he got 18 months. But do I think they get their beaks wet in some of that money? It's very possible, because guess what? If we was to take a fine-tooth comb and go over every national politician's fundraising records in a proper way, all of them have touched dirty money. You cannot reach politics on a national level nowadays because of the corrupting force of money, and not have had some type of shady deals with your finances and with money itself. And that's because the Citizens United ruling, which the Supreme Court, with the deciding vote being Judge John Roberts, a Republican, who said, which is just as crazy, don't even make sense even to the layman, that a campaign donation is equal to free speech. That's right, you heard me right. A campaign donation is the same thing as free speech. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm thinking our forefathers would slap Judge Roberts silly for even implying that. But anyway, and that opened the door to even more corruption of our democracy by saying that corporations and individuals can give unlimited amounts now to candidates. So basically just open up the vault door and just back up the Brinks truck and load it up, and you can donate as much money as you want. So basically at this point, we're in our oligarchy. And if you don't know what an oligarchy is, that's when a few powerful, rich individuals control the entire government. And that's basically what we have here now. We got billionaires that are basically bought and sold just about our democracy. And if we don't stand up and make a change on this soon, you know what I mean? We're going to be bigger corporate slaves than we already are. But anyway, we're going to get down to it. I'm going to do 2 segments. I'm probably going to do a live one tonight. And I'm going to do one as a primer tomorrow for the big debate. Like I said, there's been some confusion about the debate. Chase was going to go at 8, but then he had prior commitments he didn't know about. So we're not going to be able to go and let the sparks fly until about 11:30. We're still going to go live. I'm not going to do you wrong. We're still going to go live if you're awake that late. If not, you better listen to the replay. But I'm coming out of the blue corner on the left. Chase is coming out of the red corner, and we're going to go toe-to-toe slugfest metaphorically. Let the best man win. And he's already said that one of his major policy agreements with Donald Trump is the border. And I'm waiting to chew his butt up because I've studied on the border because I had to bone up for the bigot Donald Trump when I did his show. So I'm ready for you, Chase. Ding, ding, bring it on, mofo. You know what I mean? Some sparks going to fly. Some feelings might get hurt. But Chase Brady is going down. Make no mistakes about it. You know what I mean? It's been a rare day he's ever got the best of me in a debate, even though he'll tell you he's won every time. I'm thinking he might have won out of every 100. That's just my opinion. But let's get down to it. To some of the many outrageous statements that Donald Trump has made. Not to mention this, and this is something else I can't stand about Donald Trump. He is so arrogant, such an egomaniacal bastard, that he refuses to apologize or ever admit he's wrong. You know what I mean? How flawed an individual and human being is that? Everybody's wrong and should apologize at times. That's like Judge Curiel, this judge from Mexican descent, who he keeps saying over and over, won't give him a fair trial because he's Mexican, and he wants to build a wall at the border, and the judge's parents are Mexican, so it'd be biased, which is ludicrous. Because come to find out, the few rulings the judge has made in the Trump University case, he's made them in favor of Donald Trump. So has he already not shown bias? He's already ruled in favor of DJ Trump. But anyway, we're going to close down the last 10. Like I said, I'm going to do another 30, but I'm going to do it not live. I'm going to have to record it. And I'm going to play it as a primer to get your mouth watered for the big debate tomorrow. And I invite my listeners to tune in because, look, me and Chase always have a heated argument. And Chase is behind the 8 ball on this one. He's slow. He's been slacking. He ain't been doing his homework. And I'm going to mop the floor with his butt. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. But let's go to PolitiFacts, Donald Trump file, and the Trump statements by ruling. Now, this is how they categorize of true statements on PolitiFact. There's actually 6 categories. There's true, mostly true, half true, mostly false, and pants on fire, liar, liar, pants on fire, false. Now, Trump's true statements well, let's start with his pants on fire statements. Let's go from the top to the bottom to the top. His pants on fire statements are at 19%. That's kind of high. So 19% of his statements are liar, liar, pants on fire, flat out, complete, no bones about it, just lies. Right? And then above that is his biggest percentage, and that is false. And 41% of his statements is false. Now, you heard me right. 9 percentage points away from half of every major statement he's made has been false, which is a lie. You know what I mean? It ain't a pants on fire lie, but it's 89% untrue. And then above that, it's mostly false, which comes in at a modest, for Donald Trump, a modest 16%, which, sad but true, and half true, and in fact, above mostly false is half true, and it's also tied with his mostly false statements at 16%. Now let's get to the truth, as Stephen Colbert likes to say, the truthiness. Donald Trump's mostly true statements are a minuscule 6%. Now do the math, right? Do the math. We got 19%, 41%, 16% 2 times, then a paltry 6%. But his true statements, his actual true statements are a unbelievable 3%. So Donald Trump, and all his major statements, has only told the truth 3% of the time. And let me tell you, PolitiFact is the gold standard, completely unbiased fact-checking site. And I know it's hard for you Republicans to believe facts because it goes against your religion. Because if you had to believe in facts, everything you believe and stood for would come crumbling down around you. And I know all you think Hillary Clinton's just the most deceitful, dishonest politician of all time. But the fair is fair, and we're going to bring her file up. So we're going to check it out. We're going to check out the old Hillary file. Now, don't get me wrong, that Hillary is a politician, and people, you got to understand, by the nature of the game, you also don't reach federal politics by being just totally honest. Bernie Sanders, you know what I mean? Bernie Sanders is an exception to the rule. You know what I'm saying? He's way more honest than 90% of any politicians out there. And that's why you got to love and respect Bernie Sanders, because he has integrity and he don't take corporate donations. So he's not bought. And even though Trump claims that he's a self-funded campaign, that's already been proved to be a lie. He's only actually spent $250,000 of his own money on his campaign. He went with his hat in hand a couple of weeks ago to the RNC, saying that his campaign is already millions, if not tens of millions of dollars in debt. And could they please give Big Daddy Warbucks Donald some money? Because even though he says this all the time,
I'm really rich.
Come to find out, he lies about that most of the time too. That he claims to be worth $10 billion. Forbes has him around 2.9. I think there's other people who say he's worth less than that, between 300 to 400 million and $1 billion. Trump himself is such an arrogant dude. He thinks his name alone, just the name Trump alone, is worth $3 billion. Right? So we're going to go to Clinton's statements. And we're going to start on Pants on Fire. Her Pants on Fire statements are you heard me right. This is going to be shocking because I know the facts were shocking that she was exonerated in Benghazi and Whitewater. Her Pants on Fire statements have been 1%. Let me repeat that. Let me rewind that for you cats. 1%. And like I said, we're cutting to the mid. Her false statements are 12%. Her mostly false a respectable 15%. Half true, 22%. Mostly true. Here's where your jaws are going to drop. The statement she makes, I know we're talking about Hillary Clinton, the female devil. If you listen to the right, you listen to your Rush Limbaughs of the world, she's the Antichrist with the vagina, coming to take your guns and destroy America. But her statements that have been rated mostly true by PolitiFact have been 27%. And guess what? The top of the heap, her true statements are 23%. So that's right. Let's go back over it. From half true to mostly true and true, she has, it's going to blow your wig off now. Are you ready, cats? Let's do the math here. 72% from half true to true. 72% of those statements, of her statements, have been rated half true to true. While on the falsy, and I know you can't believe it, it's just not what Sean Hannity told you. It's not what Rush Limbaugh says, or Bill O'Reilly, or any other of those goons on Fox and Friends in the morning. Steve Loosey Goosey Doocy, who I believe was mentally comatose. But her pencil fire to mostly false statements are only, get this now, ready? You ready, kids? 28%. That's right, 28%. So she's only told a fib, total fib or half fib 28% of the time. And she's told half truth, mostly true, and true statements. You guessed it. I'll say it again for you kids. 72% of the time. And you trying to tell me that Donald Trump is more honest than that? If so, if you believe that, you're either smoking good medical marijuana, and if so, email me because I have medical issues. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Or, you've hit your head, you're delusional, you're in denial, or you're completely freaking insane. Right? I told you Donald Trump's a pathological liar, but don't get me wrong, he's a good one. He's taking the script from Lee Atwater and Carl Rove's playbook, which is the old adage, if you repeat a lie enough, gullible people will eventually take it as a truth and repeat it as a truth. And that's what we have here. That's what we have here. So, I hate to break it to you kids, that is the Clinton file on her statements. And that is the Trump file. And I'm not going to get into policy issues on either one of them. I'm going to save that for my man Chastity Brady. Did I say Chastity? I mean Chase Brady tomorrow night as we go toe-to-toe with the great debate. The sparks are going to fly. Feelings are going to get hurt. And I have a feeling by the time it's over with, Chase is going to be left weeping like a little schoolgirl. I think he's going to be a blubbering idiot by the time it's over with. First of all, because his man, the Bible-thumping nut creep job, Mr. Creepy, Ted Cruz, couldn't even beat. Even though he's a creep, he was a principled conservative creep. That was an actual real conservative. Even though he's a Bible-thumping, zealot, creepy, pedophile-looking creepazoid, he still got his butt and ass dusted by the mango man himself, the super carnival barker, one Donald J. Trump. And like I said, I'm down to the last, about 30 seconds. So that's my opinion. It's not the lesser of two evils, because Hillary's not evil compared to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is seriously dangerous. You know, when Kim Jong-il and Vladimir Putin and the enemies of the enemies of America are endorsing Trump, something is wrong. But I'm down to the last 20, and this is Shooting the Breeze with your man Byron A. to the Lloyd. I am him, he am I. We're the same guy. And I'm going to get off here. I'll see you tomorrow night at the debate, but I got another episode coming before that. See ya.